Alright, good afternoon everybody. This is the third stream. This is CSL games, which is Collegiate Star League. We have games coming up between University of Houston and University of Texas at San Antonio. The first game will be between HeavensLight, who is a Grandmaster Zerg player playing for University of Houston. He is in the pro bracket as well as the CSL bracket, playing for University of Houston. The only player to be doing so very busy schedule for him. And then we are versus Silent CF out of University of Texas at San Antonio. And the game is starting up in just a sec. Alright, countdown started up. Game starting in just a minute. So this is the first game in their series. I should be casting quite a few games. Of course, this is a big competition. There's a lot of teams playing a lot of games. So the reason behind it is that all the games may not be cast inside of one space, because if they have more than one computer, they'll want to be casting, or they'll want to be playing all of their games to get ready for the next one, of course. So it looks like it's a game, 5 games, and this is the second heat of the day. So second series of games for CSL players. And game almost unloading. It's going to be on MLG Metalopolis, and Silent CF is a Terran, and HeavensLight is a Zerg. And here we have HeavensLight starting on the left-hand side of the map here on MLG Metalopolis. And we have Silent CF starting in the southern position here on MLG Metalopolis. A little bit of a lag spec right there. Courtesies being observed. Good luck, have fun, GG. And we'll have to see if Silent CF scouts this Overlord, which will be coming across this gap right here. Can send a scout over here at about 110 on pretty much every close by air position map to see if a Zerg is scouting. And this is University of Houston versus San Antonio for chat. Silent CF really thought he played toss. Not sure why he thought he played toss, but that might be throwing off his game plan just a little bit in this game. HeavensLight making a sad face. He feels his pain. Alright, so we have no gas, no spawning pool, so it's probably going to be a 15 expand. He is going to see the Terran player here. He sees it just barely and turns around, and that's what you want to do when you get this. Well, let's see. He goes up. He's just going to go in and scout, see what gases are on there, see what's being built at the front. Before the first Marine gets out, nothing's going to be done. He can then move that Overlord down into the natural, say like right here, and then just kind of pop it in to see if a expansion is going up. Now, HeavensLight is moving down to build his expansion, so 15 expand. Really common. Zerg opening. No gas so far. We'll have to see if he goes with the gasless build. It really depends on what he scouts as far as Silent CF is doing. It looks like he is going to gasless expand at this point. Nope, okay, and then he drops a gas right as I say it. So maybe Blue Flame Hellions. Kind of a late gas though at 15. We'll have to see what he transitions into. Maybe Reaper expands. Pretty uncommon, but still, some people do it. HeavensLight dropping his spawning pool right now, sending one drone out. Looks like it's going to scout across the map. Or scout for bunkers. Scout around for hidden bunkers. He does not have an Overlord here at the front, which is what you would usually see bunkers with. He has sent it to the back, which is a really interesting choice. I'm not really sure why this one is coming down here. Guess it's moving in to scout the gas to see if 2 have been put up, which he's about to see in just a second. He sees no second gas, so that's good news for him. He knows that it's not going to be Cloaked Banshees, probably a more economical build. And here's that bunker. He was looking around for it. He did find it. Bunker going down in the back. Of course, you can drop a bunker here in the back, and you can also drop one right here. It makes it kind of difficult to attack the SCV as well. But over here in the back area, really the hardest position. But great control out of HeavensLight. He is constantly clicking and attacking that. If you just set them on attack move, once the SCV barely moves out, and he does take out that SCV, once it moves out, you actually stop auto-attacking. So really good control there by HeavensLight. Picks off that SCV, forces a cancel on the bunker, and gets the Marine with drones. Very, very nicely done. HeavensLight getting his Queen here at his natural and his expansion. In the meantime, expansion going up for Silent CF, as well as, let's see, a reactor. So reactor Hellion expands. Really common. A little bit late on that gas, like I talked about, but not too shabby. Really, this is a lull position in the game while we wait for those Blue Flame Hellions to come out. And then really the next choice we see is, what is HeavensLight going to go? Is he going to go for a third base, or is he going to go for like a Roach Baneling, really high aggression, which he does favor. He does like heavy Roachling aggression. We see the Roach Warren being dropped there. Up here in the main base, we have no real indicator of Banelings. There's not a second gas being taken or anything like that at any of the expansions, so we don't see that. So he's probably just going to be expanding and getting some more Zerglings, but we'll have to see. Probably getting the Roaches for that Hellion harassment that'll be coming in. Now, of course, Metalopolis has like a really open natural area, so Hellions can be really effective here because one Spinecrawler doesn't actually cover the entrance very well. You actually have to have probably one back here. Queens have to be really careful to block that ramp, so that is the reason why you'll see Zerg players going for a very fast Roach Warren on this map versus Terran, as opposed to other maps where they can defend with like 3 or 4 Queens. And we have seen a second gas being picked up, so Layer Tech should be coming up here pretty soon, or taking the third. We'll have to see. Hellions moving across the map right now. They're going to run into some Roaches and be driven back. They see those Roaches, understand they're not going to get very much damage done, and start heading home. 2 more headed across the field though, meeting up. In the meantime, HeavensLight has scouted that there's no 3rd and 4th gas down here, so not heavy mech play coming out behind it, and it'll probably be Bio Marine Tank going on. If you see extra gases at the expansion, you're probably going to be thinking that there's going to be more mech play. So HeavensLight drops his 3rd, Hellions moving in. Like I said, big natural expansion. They're going to scout down here. Already blocked off here in the back, getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, good amount of drones there actually out of those. And really, these kind of pay for themselves. It was 400 minerals for 6 drones. It's only 200 behind, and you're limiting the worker count, which also goes into the larva. So pretty good exchange there for Silent CF against HeavensLight there. Walling up, can put a siege tank up here. Siege mode about 75% of the way done. We have a 3rd coming up for Silent CF, so playing very macro, very nicely done by him. Making sure he has a good naturally defended position here with these bunkers. With this bunker, 2 supply depots, and an engineering bay. Hasn't started +1 yet though, kind of an interesting choice. And HeavensLight just finishing his 3rd here at 8 minutes and 30 seconds about. Really great creep spread, you see it moving out here across the map. He had an extra queen for a really long time. That's A, to defend against the Hellion harass, and B, just to get this creep spread really cruising along, which he has been doing. And now it's going to be injecting. HeavensLight likes to pull his overlords here a little bit. Can get kind of dangerous. And here's a 4th queen, it looks like, so he is really pouring on that creep spread. Great overlord positioning you see out here, all around the map. Any drops headed out of this base, he will see immediately. Any drops coming from the north, also seen immediately. So very nicely done there by him. 3rd and 4th gases look like they're up, cruising along, transitioning into, yep, mass racks. Starport needs to add a little bit more production on now that he's about to move on to his 3rd base. That command center is finished, morphed into an orbital. He is finishing saturating his main mineral line, which is just a few SCVs off being saturated, and his natural, which is fully saturated, it looks like, at the moment. 2 siege tanks defending this. Not a whole lot of defense, but HeavensLight not getting aggressive. He may be moving on to take his 4th here pretty soon. We'll have to see. Macro hatch is going down in the expansion. +1 armor starting up. He's building a good amount of lings, but hasn't committed to lings per se. Sad face. Something must have gotten picked off somewhere. Creep spread moving across the map. Siege tanks repositioning. Unsieging. Looks like he's going to do a little bit of a push out right here. And lings coming to check the 3rd over here. Getting breathed on by that Hellion, not really taking anything out. A few banglings being morphed. Hear them back here. Silent does see them though. Good game sense. Moves over and takes those out. Cancels them. Very nicely done by HeavensLight. Not wasting that gas on it. Getting the cancel. 3 more racks coming down. So big bio production coming up. Probably be a 2nd factory coming down somewhere, I would assume. Les is going to be moving into mass drop play. +1 almost done for him, which is going to coincide. Well, it's a little bit ahead of the Zerg's +1 armor, who is now starting +1 attack as well. So it looks like it's going to be a Zergling. So probably Infestor Ling Ultra. We will have to see with heavy upgrades. And Banglings moving out in the middle of the field. No mutas. Infestation Pit almost done. Piling up here in the north, we see the Zerglings moving around. Looks like they're going to come into the third. We'll have to see the reaction time on that. Ooh, big drop loaded up over here for Silent CF. Lings moving in, see the 3 siege tanks, take the shots, decide that's not a good idea. That's a lot of siege tanks. Let's wait for the rest of the Zerglings. And HeavensLight sending an Overlord into the base. Does see that drop coming. See if he's going to react accordingly. There we go. Some Lings here patrolling around underneath those. Some Spore Crawlers, and I think, oh no, just 2 Spore Crawlers being dropped down. Marines, it looks like that was just set on like a drop path. It looks like he wasn't paying attention to the Lings flying around under it. Great control there by HeavensLight, leaving some Lings on the high ground, some Lings on the moving around to the low ground. That's really what you want to do, so that way they can't hop between them. These medvacs getting almost picked off by these queens. Needs to be really careful. Looks like he just abandoned those as a lost cause. In the meantime, HeavensLight really spreading that creep. Those overlords that were zooming in that saw the drop coming, they were there to spread the creep up there. So very nicely done. Creeping in your base. HeavensLight, very nicely done. Big scan going down. That is a lot of creep tumors. And will all of them be taken out inside this one scan? Doesn't look like it. There's still creep tumors. And that's the advantage of dropping 300 creep tumors instead of just 1. Because not all of it can be picked off, apparently. This Overlord's like, oh, come on, I just wanted to creep over here. Don't worry about me. And HeavensLight really keeping a great look on the minerals and gases of his opponent, which is really important for him. Building a little defensible area here. Supply depots with 1 bunker. Cute. And a big force moving across the middle. A lot of Banelings being morphed. Looks like 27 more in production, and with 18 already there, so it's going to be about 50 Banelings with Infestors versus, looks like 6 or 7 siege tanks with a few Marines with creep spread almost all the way to the base. HeavensLight is in a very solid position, picking up his 4th, 5th, and 6th bases. Insane amount of macro here out of HeavensLight, and he will be battling down on Silent CF shortly, I am sure. Infestors burrowing, moving up. Silent CF sees nothing. Wow, scan. Very nicely done. Really watching the ground there. And Lings moving around. Wow, good catch on all of those Marines. More Lings coming around. Looks like they're going to get the surround. Banelings connecting. Oh, wow. No split out of those Marines, and all of them go down. Big burrow, which is interesting. Scan's just going to go down, and those Marines are just going to start popping the Banelings and killing themselves. Actually, 3 Marines died just to scanning and then shooting them. More scans going down. This is a really interesting tactic. So he's so far ahead on bases, he's forcing scans to waste the mules. And this is going to let him get further and further ahead in economy. And because he's so far ahead, he's actually crippling his opponent by forcing him to waste scans. It's very odd, but mathematically it actually works out really well for the Zerg player. Now we'll have to see if he's going to be able to overwhelm with these Zerglings who are at 1-1 versus these 1-1 Marines. It does not look like it's going to be the case. Big on burrow. They're going to roll in. All those Banelings chasing the Marines. Big stem up the ramp. Most of them getting back in time, but oh, a lot are getting caught. They stopped running at the top of the ramp there. Infested Terran. Big wave going up on top of the ramp. I don't think that siege tank is long for this world. And these medvacs might get picked off as well with these infested Terrans slowly lumbering forward, trying to pick them off. More Lings just flooding in. It looks like he just set his rally point into this Terran army. But these Marines, really good, high DPS, lots of medvacs in the air, are going to hold this. A lot of damage being dealt, though. And he is still running off 5 bases of economy. Pick up. Looks like he might be trying to drop those on the high ground. I'm not really sure if he's going to be going for a drop, per se. And we have 4 hatcheries being morphed on the right side of the map. I mean, why rally all the way across the map when you can just build hatcheries next to your opponent? And Silent CF is going to have to get through a wall of creep to try and take his 4th base. And those drops were moving out. I'm not really sure where they disappeared to. There they are. Dropping into the main here of HeavensLight. Big drone pull, trying to surround. And the Queen focusing down and taking out one of those medvacs. The other medvac actually has 5 Marines in it, which would really help out in this battle that's going on right now. In the meantime, this Queen, which is at 1 armor, seems to be living forever because the drones are being focused. They almost got that spawning pool, which is at 178 health and finishing researching adrenal glands. In the meantime, Silent CF is moving around the map with just a few Marines that he can spare, trying to clear out some creep and pick off infestors. This one is running for his life. Likely he is on creep, which means he is faster than Marines, just barely. Clearing out those creep tumors there with the Marines. HeavensLight decided that that's where he wants his 7th base to be. Interesting choice. More drops coming up here in the north. But Zerglings are there, ready to handle it. Over here in the middle of the map, Silent CF just sending out a really miniature hit squad of Marines. I'm not sure if they're trying to clear creep or what exactly he's doing here. Still 3 tanks chilling at the third. Marines just over here trying to pick off the mass hatchery proxy hatches over here. Doing a pretty good job of it. They're now at 2-2. Big drop coming in, a little bit of a stim in there. Siege tanks being left out in the open, undefended though. They do get picked off, too far away to pick off the banelings, and all these Marines get cleaned up by a fungal and just a Marine surround. I think 1 baneling connection was all it took to finish that off. Lings rushing down here. Drones being thrown away here by HeavensLight. Really interesting choice by him. He is at 55 drones though still, so he's just trying to free up some supply for a bigger army. Losing that infestor, kind of waddling forward unnecessarily there. Kind of interesting time to throw away drones. Yes, his main is mined out, but he has other bases to saturate. And 3-3 is on its way for our Terran player. 2-2 still for HeavensLight. Looks like he hasn't really... He has Hive. Okay, there's the Ultra Cavern. But Chitinous Hide has not... Chitinous Plating has not yet been researched. Big Surround looks like it's going to try and go down on these Marines. Big Stim. Fungal. Oh, all those Marines are going to die. Oh, all those Marines. Boom. All those Marines are dead. And that was a really good engagement there by HeavensLight. Really cost effective. Losing all those Lings. These infestors look like they're going to get away. SCV's moving out on the map. More command centers going down in the background, so he's going to start trying to rely on mules more, getting a little bit of a bigger army. And those SCV linebackers took a fungal to the face. There's no fungals left, however, for all these Marines. And 3-4 infestors being picked off there. Running around underground did not save them. And Silent CF's push actually looks like it might actually be able to take out this 6th base, which doesn't really sound that dramatic when you say it. Oh no, not the 6th base. And siege tanks getting worked down by this one Zergling, who's a hero Zergling. He's going to take out a siege tank all by himself. Very nicely done, Zergling. Marines put him to death right afterwards for that. But wow, good baneling connects, great fungals, all that being cleaned up there. And HeavensLight really can afford to make all these trades. And Silent CF floating a lot of minerals, but still reproducing a pretty good army size repeatedly. Baneling's getting in there, getting a little bit of connection. But really, HeavensLight looks like he's on the back foot right now. Looks like he's being a little bit ambitious. There are some fungals down. Stim going forward. Medvacs checking out, healing up those Marines. And these siege tanks look like they're going to move up and try and get into a good position here, clearing out even more creep. He's slowly pushed this creep back over time and is doing a really good job of it. Setting up in a pretty good position here. Needs a little bit more spread on these Marines. It looks like they're really subject to a fungal. Marines moving up. They're going to try and pick off that spawning pool. There it goes. No more Lings being able to be produced right now. And still no research on the Ultralists. Looks like he decided not to commit to that. And Infestors running in, getting some good baneling connects with those fungals. Another fungal going down. Oh, those Marines. There they go. Down they go. 2 siege tanks left. Marines streaming in though. Vikings starting across the field now. A lot of Zerglings up here. But there's enough of a defense to defend against that. Silent CF really getting into a really good position here against HeavensLight, who now looks like he's trying to transition into some roaches because he has no spawning pool. New spawning pool going up at the back of the 3rd base right now. 6th is dead. Marines moving out across the field. They're now 3-3, so they're extremely beastie, dealing 9 damage. Stims, just ridiculous amounts of damage. Big fungal going down. That's not going to be enough to kill them. One more is going to be necessary. Will he pop up and finish it off? Some Infested Terran popping out. More Infested Terran popping out. Fungal going down. Looks like a lot of the Marines are going to die, but not all of them. HeavensLight running off really 1.5 mining bases, and these extremely weak Marines are running up. One more fungal. Oh, does not get a fungal off with that infested that had enough energy. And HeavensLight really looks like he's in a tough position right now. Silent CF has moved up and secured a 4th base. Siege tank line down below his 3rd, preventing reinforcements and a gathering up here. Lings and roaches out in the middle of the field right now. They're going to clean up the rest of these Marines that are threatening this base, though, where the macro hatch is, or one of the macro hatches. Marines being finished off there. Infestors unburring a little bit too close to those siege tanks. And now HeavensLight stabilizing just a little bit. And all those extra resources that were banked up for Silent CF, he had 2,000 at the beginning of this push, are now being cleared out, but there's just a steady stream of Marines all the way back to the base. Big stim forward. Looks like he's going to be able to pick off these infestors again. HeavensLight losing infestors. Fungal on just 3 Marines, though. Baneling's burrowing at the bottom of the ramp, so when he comes into the 4th, or the 5th, I guess, he's going to run into a Baneling surprise. Wonder if he will fall for that or throw down another scan. Marines at the top of the hill right now, proving how great 3-3 Marines are, clearing out this base of all drones, taking down the spawning pool again. Good sniping there by Silent CF. So another base going down. Big scans. He has not yet scanned the base of that ramp, though. Scanned on himself to take out some more creep, slowly clearing that out. HeavensLight doing a really great job. He's decided to stop trying to engage that army directly and start picking off all of the reinforcements. Big fungal right there. He has enough for one more, and will he throw it down and pick off all those Marines? Or will he hold off? Scan. Oh man, all those infestors. Oh, so close to dying. One infestor does go down. 2 more infestors pop out. Great fungal. One more finishes it. Oh, healing, healing, healing. Down they go. All those Marines get picked off. Great job there by HeavensLight. Now it's just 4 siege tanks and a small bastion of Marines. In the meantime, Ling's down in the natural and 3rd, just ripping through stuff, actually. They took out all of the workers down here. Looks like they took out the worker... No, they're just all piled up on 2 minerals. So picking off the workers here at the natural, and now they're going to head on home as this push is coming towards the main base. HeavensLight needs Lings back here to defend it. Just 4 siege tanks. If you can pick those off, those Marines will get cleaned up. Infestors heading down to try and clean up the Marines as well. Siege tanks are now in position, though. Waited just a little bit too long, and those Lings need to come in and take the tank shots for these infestors. Here they come, running by the siege tanks, though, not really getting very effective trades in there. Fungo's going down. Those Marines are going to die. Oh, wow. No, just barely enough HP to live. Infestation Pit is about to go down, though. It's going to be a big loss for HeavensLight. He is running off just roaches right now. Straight Marines in production here for Silent CF, though. HeavensLight picking up more bases in the south. He is mining those out, and if this turns into a split map game, which it's in a really awkward position right now, Marines coming, getting owned by all of these roaches, actually. And he's flying back into these tanks, but it looks like these roaches are going to be enough to hold this, even though they have no damage upgrades clearing through these Marines. Very nicely done. So there's down to 1 mining base, really, because this one just mined out. So 1 mining base for Silent CF, and he is going to try and move in probably and take out these bases over here for HeavensLight. The thing about that is he's already been mining these, so he's going to be really far ahead when it comes down to the split map. Another spawning pool going down, another infestation pit going down. The hive, crucially, has not been picked off. It is at about half HP, so killing that would have actually forced a really long time to get tech back up to infestors, but it has not been picked off yet. Looks like he might be aiming for that. He's picking up a drop and moving up towards the currently main mining base of HeavensLight. Marines moving up, clearing out all these macro hatcheries that have been going down here for a long time, and he is moving a good contingent of Lings and roaches up here to defend this drop, which he did see coming via flying over the middle of his army down here in the south. Marines coming in, trying to take out this mining base. HeavensLight does not want to let that happen. These Marines have been stimmed pretty much to death, and whoa, giant Baneling connection, all those Marines going down. Up here at the 4th base of HeavensLight, looks like it's being pretty well defended. These dropships are out in the middle of the air. These Banelings are like, oh, we'll just come chill under you and wait for you to drop out Marines one at a time so we can blow up on you. And now going back over, there are only 2 roaches over here defending now, so this would be a really great time to drop. But he's got to know it's coming. He saw that moving. Will more troops be transitioned over? In the meantime, Silent CF putting a lot of pressure down here on this, I guess, 5th base currently of HeavensLight. Wow, a lot of Marines out on the field. And because there are no infestors, which HeavensLight was really using to clean that up, these Marines are going to deal a massive amount of damage. Without Baneling infestor, Marines are just ridiculously good. And I don't think any of these Banelings are going to connect. And if they do, wow, he didn't split at all. Never mind. Okay, a lot of those Marines going down. Nothing up here to defend this base, though. And it looks like it is going to get cleared out of drones as well. Drop moving in here. Great multi-prong assaulting here by Silent CF. Really, really great control. Down out here in the middle, also being cleaned up. So just Marines, 3-3 Marines everywhere. And 3-3 Marines are ridiculous. These drones trying to tank damage while these roaches try and clean up these marines slowly over time. New infestors out on the field finally, and this hatchery almost dead. I don't think there are any queens out on the field right now. Yeah, there are no queens for inject, and new siege tanks and marines moving across the field. Silent CF really fighting his way back from that 2 base, then 3 base contain with HeavensLight all over the map. And it looks like he might be taking this game, moving up here into the 3rd base. 2 more infested Terran being dropped out. That's really all you can do with 50 energy. So that's what he decides to do. Catches that drone transfer coming. Big drone pull. Great position here by Silent CF. There's not really a great way to assault into that as a Zerg player. And this base is going to drop as well. So HeavensLight is now down to 2 hatcheries, which are his main and his natural. Just drops everywhere. Very great play here out of Silent CF. Infested Terran going down. A fungal. Not enough to pick it off yet. Income right now 1500 to 0. And HeavensLight moving forward. Big scan. Wow, nice sense there by Silent CF. Gets all of those. GG. Game 1 goes to University of Texas at San Antonio.